Example number 3, which I'm calling dog distractions. All right, so how about laughing and gleefully running in the opposite direction that your dog is running as they start to chase after a bunny that popped up suddenly out of the tall grass right in front of us? Do you think that could be a successful experiment or not? Well, if you have established a connected, trusting relationship with your dog, the answer will be a resounding, oh yes. That exact thing happened to me with not just one, but 2 5-month-old border collie puppies while we were out into the open world on our morning walk. Hi, I'm Kathy Kowalik, and I believe that our dogs connect us to the heart and soul of what really matters in life. So hang out, and we'll take a deep dive into the human-dog connection and explore strategies that will inspire you to create legendary, enlightened partnership with your dog. This is the Enlightened by Dogs podcast. Well, hello, Kathy Kowalik here, and welcome to today's episode where we're going to be diving into the joyful world of lighthearted laughter and love, exploring how these emotions can transform our relationships with our dogs, especially in difficult situations. Yes, you heard me right. Now, consider this a kind of like a continuation of last week's episode, which was all about being playful. Well, you might be wondering what all of this focus on playfulness and laughter is all about. Well, this month in my members' communities, we are having a blast with our theme of the month, which is fun, laugh, and love. And I gotta say, I'm loving reading some of the responses to the daily prompts that we're responding to every day, all month long. Here's a quick sampling. Linda shared, May Fun Day 8. 3 things I love about Bear are that he's so sweet to his elderly doggy sister, his lovely expressive face and eyes, and how he smiles excitedly when we play his favorite game of jump and catch the football, which I kick up in the air for him. I love that. And then Donna shared, May Fun Day 8. 3 things I love about Jeter. He's very cuddly. He gives me purpose. He makes me laugh. How cool is that? And then Brenda shared, May 8. 3 things I love about Onyx are her patience, reasoning abilities, and her love for catching frisbees. And 3 things I love about Millie are her loving ways with people, her gentleness, and her enthusiasm. Woo! All right. So awesome. Keep them coming, gals. I am loving reading them, and I can tell that you're enjoying sharing them. Okay, so sticking with the theme, today let's dive a bit more into the topic of laughter and just how life-changing it can be for us dog moms. I'm thrilled to share some fascinating insights and personal stories with you. So let's get started, shall we? So, in the minds of most people, the signal of a happy dog might be when they're wagging their tail wildly. But there's actually a canine facial expression that closely mirrors what we consider a smile in us humans. So picture this. Your dog has a slightly opened mouth, jaws are like relaxed and a little open. There's a tongue lapping out over the front teeth and eyes that take on a sort of a teardrop shape. as if being pulled at the corners. And so this relaxed, playful look usually shows up when our dogs are interacting socially, especially with us, their human companions. And it's a sign of a dog that is at ease and enjoying themselves, which is a stark contrast to the tense facial expressions and body language we see when our dogs are feeling anxious or stressed. Yeah. And did you know that dogs also laugh? Yes, yes, they do. It's a bit like a panting sound, but with a richer, broader range of frequencies. And it's pretty cool. My dogs laugh all the time, and I actually mimic their laugh, and that causes them to laugh because, well, laughter is contagious. Yeah. And so dogs laughing was discovered a while back by an animal behaviorist, Patricia Simonet, who recorded the sounds of dogs laughing, which is kind of like it's similar to the way we laugh, where we're like expelling air in a certain way, right? And so dogs have their own way of doing that. It's just not accompanied with like vocal cord backup, if you know what I'm saying. And so this researcher recorded the sounds, and also, in part of her research, found out that puppies responded by playing joyfully when they heard the sounds that were coming from the recording. How cool is that? So she played the recording, and the puppies that were just like hanging around started getting animated and playing in a happy way. And maybe even more heartwarming and interesting is that the same laughter sounds, when that recording was played in shelters, it actually helped calm the dogs in the shelters. Like, how cool is that? Now, what about laughter itself? We don't talk too much about actual laughter, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff about like humor and jokes and all that, but what about laughter? So, laughter isn't just like a reaction to something. It's a social need that's deeply ingrained in both humans and dogs, all social animals. And we humans, as you know, you hear me talk about this a lot, we crave connection and belonging. It's a like a biological imperative that we have brought forward through our evolution as social beings. Yeah. And so we express this need for connection and belonging through our interpersonal communications. So we're sharing not just words, of course, but emotions. And there's a form of communication, this interpersonal communication style that is like socially based. It also serves to strengthen our bonds with others, and that's what helps us to feel really connected. And this drive for connection is also something that we share with our dogs, even though their expressions and their interpersonal communications might be a bit different than ours, yeah? But let's face it, it's hard to not feel delighted by our dog's playful barks or joyous leaps, right? So, laughter isn't just a sound that we make, it's a profound method of communication and connection, a sort of call and response that signals to others that everything is okay. And laughter is contagious, just like a yawn. When one person starts laughing, it's a natural reflex for others to join in. And this isn't limited to just humans. We've got plenty of research that shows that laughter and its positive effects and its social contagion spans across many species, indicating its deep-rooted importance in social interactions. And that includes laughter between us and our dogs. Now, in my own life, I've seen the magic of laughter and a lighthearted approach firsthand with my dogs. So, allow me to share a few examples of how this approach has turned potential disasters into moments of bonding and joy. I've got three real life examples demonstrating how I did this with my own dogs. Okay, number one, example number one, the title is Dog Disagreements. So, back a few years ago, my Sheltie Haley was not at all amused by the controlling nature of one of my other dogs, my border collie, Reenie. And that underlying relationship tension could erupt into a physical and noisy scuffle if something overexciting pushed them over the edge of self regulation. Was disturbing. So, of course, at first I was really upset. And no doubt I made things worse because of my strong emotional response to the kerfuffle. And then one day I decided to change my ways and experiment with becoming a positive influence instead. And the result of my experiments were almost magical. So here's what I did. When I caught the very early signs of tension building between Haley and Reenie, I laughed out loud and kind of at the same time quickly moved away from them in a lighthearted and happy way. And when I did that, they instantly got curious about what I was up to, and they just voluntarily joined me in a bit of playfulness and shared laughter. I mean, that was it. It like instantly diffused the whole thing, and it worked like every single time in the house and outside. Once I started doing it, it was like, oh my gosh, it was such a life changer. And it's so simple and so powerful. And it's a lesson that I've carried with me and used ever since in all sorts of different types of circumstances, such as example number two, which I'm calling dog disturbances. So here's another great example where social connection, role modeling, and contagious laughter really works well. So imagine that your young herding dog decides that chasing cars is great fun, while you, of course, instantly feel shock and horror, and your Lizzie brain goes into overdrive, imagining everything that could possibly go wrong and how your life is now going to be pretty much awful because now you know you have a reactive car chasing dog. Oh my gosh, Lizzie, you are making me crazy here. Okay, now, what if I told you that I used the exact same process that I just told you about with the dog disagreements to quickly diffuse this car chasing behavior and that it disappeared in one day? Well, like one day, but over the course of 2 days. So, like 24 hours. Yeah. With no training, no counter conditioning, no desensitization, no treats, no corrections needed. Would you believe me? Well, yes, it actually is true. The next time my border collie Dylan showed a tiny first sign of interest in an approaching car, in other words, because I was aware, I was really present. And as soon as I noticed that he noticed the sound of a car coming, what did I do? Well, I laughed out loud, I turned away, and I quickly ran off in the opposite direction, interacting playfully with the other dogs. And he quickly joined us. Yes, danger diffused. Yay for laughter. And social connection and social role modeling and the, the innate drive for social connection that we can tap into with our dogs. Okay. Example number 3, which I'm calling dog distractions. All right. So how about laughing and gleefully running in the opposite direction that your dog is running as they start to chase after a bunny that popped up suddenly out of the tall grass right in front of us? Do you think that could be a successful experiment or not? Well, if you have established a connected, trusting relationship with your dog, the answer will be a resounding, oh yes. That exact thing happened to me with not just one, but 2 5-month-old border collie puppies while we were out into the open world on our morning walk. No fences or anything, and it happened so quickly, but I knew what to do because it's my habit. So I saw them take off. I didn't see the warning sign, like the bunny just was hiding in the grass. The bunny popped up and ran. Puppies instantly responded by chasing. And so I squealed in audible delight and laughter as I turned and ran in the opposite way with the other adult dogs, and we were just laughing and having a great time. Well, about 5 seconds later, here come the 2 puppies bounding toward us, eager to catch up to us. It's so cool. Okay, now it's your turn. Start easy and simple. And of course, it goes without saying, right? When it's safe. Yeah. So, how about make a list of 5 times that you're going to use laughter and playfulness to increase the connection and deepen the bond with your dog and influence them to join up with you. Yeah. And then, so make your list and then put it into practice every day. There'll be so many opportunities. Let me know how it goes. I want to hear your wins. Yes, it's going to be so cool. These moments like this taught me the power of laughter and of maintaining a positive, playful attitude, even in potentially stressful situations. And I hope that you found this as helpful as I did sharing it and living it. Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember that laughter isn't just medicine for the soul, it's a bridge to deeper connections with our dogs. So have a delightful week filled with laughter and fun and love. I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, be brilliant. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening. And hey, if you would like to work with me so that I can help you discover the missing pieces you need so that you and your dog can finally be happy and enjoy life together, then head on over to dancingheartsdogacademy.com and request your invitation to join us in the Brilliant Partners Academy when the doors open for the next enrollment. See you next time, and remember, a brilliant partnership with your dog makes your whole life brilliant.